Hey everybody, this is Ksenia with Rainbow Ranch Farms, and today we're going to share with you a short tutorial on how to safely trim back the tusks, overgrown tusks, on a full-grown boar. In this case, we're actually trimming back his tusks because they've caused physical damage to his cheek, and now his cheek is bleeding. So our first step is to actually connect with the boar, in this case his name is Oreo, and let him know that we're going to be working around his face area. So we're going to just pet him and talk to him, rub his belly, and just be very, very physically connected to him so that he is going to be comfortable with us. The primary objective here is that we're going to be trimming back the tusk that's overgrown and has damaged Oreo's cheek, but we have to do this quickly, effectively, efficiently, and without causing any stress to Oreo and without causing him any pain, as well as having the freedom to work around the affected area to treat it properly to prevent infection. I don't recommend that you do this with just any boar because this can be a very dangerous procedure. In our case, our boars are very trusting of us. We are their direct caretakers, and we have a bond, and we spend a lot of time with them. So I know that I don't need to restrain Oreo at all because he's not going to feel as though we're going to harm him. He's going to know that we are there to help him. I don't know, that sounds a little bizarre, but it is true. So now we have to prepare the correct tools for this procedure. And in this particular case, we're going to use 15-inch handled hoof nippers. And it's going to be one quick move. It's going to be very quick and efficient because you're only going to get one chance. We are only going to get one chance to do this. So we have to have a steady hand, and we have to trim without moving the tusk and without touching the affected area that's bleeding. And so we're using these 15-inch long handled hoof nippers that are available at any livestock supply facility. So now Oreo is comfortable and he's rolled over on the correct side so we can get to the overgrown tusk, and he is letting us touch around the affected area. He's letting us touch his tusk and also put the nippers around his tusk, so he's comfortable, we're comfortable, and everything's going as planned. As an example here, I'm going to use his left tusk so that you can see, at the length that we're actually going to trim off so that we don't go into the pulp. So we're going to actually trim just about 1 inch off of the tusk tip. And if you look at the pictures here, you'll see what 1 inch sort of looks like a little bit. And it's not going to go into the blood vessel. We're not going to cut into anything that's going to cause him any pain or discomfort. So Roland is prepared, and Roland is very confident that he's going to do this quickly and with one snip. And Dennis is rubbing his belly, and I'm there, and Roland is talking to him. And we're all there together making sure that Oreo is very comfortable with this entire procedure. So avoiding the affected bleeding area and trying to keep a steady hand, Roland has now placed the nippers around the tusk to make sure that he's getting the correct amount of tip to keep it away from the affected area that's bleeding, and to also make sure that the nippers are not touching anything. You need to be very strong to be able to cut through an adult tusk like this in one move. You have to be very confident and very strong because they are really dense, these tusks, especially at this age. And Oreo is 6 years old. So now Roland has actually snipped off the tip, and I've got a close-up picture here, As you can see from Oreo's closed eyes, he's still comfortable. He didn't feel any pain. We were very, very cautious to make sure he was comfortable, and he is very, very trusting. Now I have to walk up and rinse the damaged open wound, and I do this again. He doesn't even move while I'm rinsing it out. So I'm using a sterile water bottle, an enema bottle, and Betadine. I'm just going to remove 1/3 of the sterile water from the enema bottle, and I'm going to replace the water that I remove with Betadine, shake the bottle very well, and just rinse out the entire bleeding area that's, open. And I mean, flies have been all over it, and it's just, there's dirt, and we want to prevent infection. So that's what I'm using. This was a very simple procedure, and it went as planned without any glitches. We avoided the pulp chamber, we avoided the blood vessels, and everything went well. So before you trim the tusk, you want to be sure that you're never cutting into any of the blood vessels or sensory nerves or the pulp chamber. Always understand the procedure that you're going to do, know it inside and out, know the character and the personality of your boar, and make no mistake, when you're working with a boar that's been injured, it can potentially lead to an extremely dangerous and hazardous situation. This is why the majority of farmers and ranchers usually restrain their boars, put them in a small squeeze, and use devices to keep the jaws shut, and so forth. So we don't do that sort of thing here because we don't need to. And again, always use caution. And it's just for us, it's a very simple procedure, and we don't have any issues that have ever arisen from any of our surgical procedures or simple procedures such as trimming a tusk back. I hope this was informative and helpful to you. If you have any questions, feel free to post below and I will answer them. Thanks.